Regional Party Secretariat of the MPP. We're here, the regional officers are here, the first vice, assistant secretary, former women organizer, member of National Council, former regional secretary, regional treasurer, myself, regional secretary. ACPA, the V24 coordinator, regional communications officer Perry, and then Honorable Gamaga, the MC for
my conference
from German's conference, Chen Hini, deputy regional organizer, the parliamentary candidates are here as well. From both West parliamentary candidates, Kentel, Agbogli, I've got him as your three parliamentary candidates. We have constituency executives all over, Keta parliamentary candidates, the deputy regional national coordinator Togo. We have constituency chairman for Central Tong, Amara, and then yes, Sabdai, constituency chairman. I think I've recognized almost everybody. Moses Aglina, a member of the team, regional team communications. And so
Chairman Amara.
Yes, I've recognized him. And then some of our social media and then Syria callers. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are welcome. You'll be invited here by the regional party, through the regional chairman, and for him to address you on some pertinent issues that the former president put out there during his tour of the region. So just stay tuned, pay attention, and pick the typical issues that the regional chairman will throw light on. So on this note, I'll hand over to the regional chairman to address us. Thank you very much. Chairman.
You've forgotten to tell them that they are in the oxygen city. Yes. VOLTA region, an emerging market in the political arena. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, I stand by my promise to engage the media as often as issues come up, as the need arises. I also indicated that we shall be backing our claims with facts and figures whenever we engage our opponents, the NDC, in our region here and beyond. Today, we have invited you here once again to use your media platforms to respond to some insulting statements and false claims by the former President John Mahama during his campaign tour of the region last week. A region he neglected for 2 terms, that he served as vice president and president respectively. We hope his 4 days visit affords him the opportunity to see a new VOLTA. Certainly not the region he neglected and left behind. Among other things, the former president mentioned the changing trends in the voting pattern in the VOLTA region, which he blamed on propaganda and vote buying by the MPP. He also mentioned abandoned projects by the Nana Dodanko Akufo-Addo MPP-led government. But he failed to mention that similar changes in voting pattern are taking place right as his backyard in the north. The former president also failed to show and could not demonstrate any solid grounds or records of the NDC in the VOLTA region. We do have granted him the benefit of the doubt for his long absence and distance from the realities on the ground now, but for the insults and the falsehood peddled throughout his tour. We followed every step of his and every lie he told and shall respond appropriately to him. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, permit me to repeat that politics, they said, is about development and improvement of lives of the people. I would like to repeat also that unlike the NDC, the MPP government has demonstrated its commitment toward the improvement of lives of all Ghanaians, regardless of which region or where it gets its votes from. Since our independence, the MAHAMA's NDC and its antecedents have had the opportunity to rule this country the longest, not to mention the massive support they enjoy in the VOLTA region. But what special project can MAHAMA and his NDC pinpoint to in our region? What impact have they made on the lives of the people of the VOLTA region? The NDC cannot continue to hoodwink our people with propaganda and tribal politics forever. Times have changed. Our people are wide awake and very discerning. They will therefore not take insults and blames from a failed and rejected president. MAHAMA is pained that the NDC lost the Hohe seat and must claim it back. And all the things that he said at Hohe only show how desperate and detached he is from the realities on the ground. If for nothing, the people of Hohe constituency in particular have demonstrated to the NDC and Ghana that they identify with politics of development and improvement of lives, not politics of propaganda and religious attachment. MAHAMA and his NDC should therefore brace themselves up for further deterioration of their fortunes as the government of the new patriotic party continues its massive infrastructure development and projects in all spheres of our national life and pursuit of policies and social interventions across the country and the VOLTA region in particular. As a party, we are battle ready to confront the propaganda and the tribal politics of the NDC with our solid records of achievements, which are everywhere for our people to see and identify with. The VOLTA region, just like all other parts of Ghana, are beneficiaries of many policies and social interventions by the MPP government. And at this point, let me rehash some of the things I said the last time we met. The free SHS policy affects all families and households in the VOLTA region as well as the entire country. The LEAD program affects lives in the VOLTA region as well. The expanded National School Feeding Program benefits and affects lives in the VOLTA region so much. Restoration of allowances of nursing and teacher trainees has all affected lives and students positively in the VOLTA region as well. So when MAHAMA said trainee allowances are delayed, it is still far better than cancellation. Youth employment programs and clearing of backlogs of trained teachers and nurses benefited lives and household. These and many other projects cannot escape the recognition and the appreciation of our people. How many youth, trained teachers, and nurses did MAHAMA employ in the 8 years of his rule? How many youths?
That's the question.
Now let me address specific issues and the false claim about abandoned projects. At various gatherings during his tour, the former president spoke as if he never was at the helm of affairs for 8 years and consequently rejected by the Ghanaian people. He mentioned abandoned roads, unemployment, abandoned U-House projects, delayed teachers and nursing trainee allowances, and failed manifesto promises, among others. But if it takes the fulfillment of manifesto promises to measure the success or otherwise of a government, then Mahama has no moral ground to want to be elected as president of Ghana. However, in the case of the MPP, not only have we achieved most of our manifesto promises, but we have also undertaken very monumental projects and programs outside our manifesto promises. In the area of education, the free SHS policy and free feeding of students are programs and projects that cannot escape the scrutiny of any serious observer. All the skeletal blocks, structures left behind by Mahama and the NDC in the VOLTA region have been completed, furnished, and populated by free senior high school students, free feeding, teachers, school buses, and learning aids. Under the free SHS policy, most schools in the VOLTA region have also benefited from infrastructure expansion interventions, a policy Mahama and the NDC did not believe in and have scandalized. At the time, the world and experts are scoring our country, Ghana, with high marks for the fantastic strides in making science education more accessible to Ghanaian families through the free senior high school policies, the prioritization of STEM and the TVET education in Ghana, and our strive to raise the bar in education in furtherance of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 4, SDG 4, which is to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong training opportunities for all. It is important to state that the 2017 free senior high policy does not only make secondary school free for all students in Ghana, but also lighten the financial burden of parents who would have been unable to afford their children's education. Mahama stood on the platform to say that the future of Ghanaian youth has been thrown into jeopardy. He might be living in his own world or behind time. In the health sector, so much has happened in our region under the current MPP administration. Existing health facilities have been improved and refurbished. For example, a district hospital has been completed and commissioned at VOLTA in the Ketu North constituency. The Agenda 111 project is on course in the VOLTA region as well. Various districts including Agotima, Afayato South, Ho West, South Dain, Akachi North, Akachi South, and Angloga are all undertaking this project, each one of which costs $15.88 million and are at various levels of completion. Adakwe is also part of the Agenda 111 project. Yes, it's also almost completed. Our region is also a proud beneficiary of one constituency, one ambulance service, and this is working and saving lives in the VOLTA region. Remote communities in the VOLTA region are benefiting from medical drone delivery system. One major boost to health delivery in the VOLTA region is the upgrading of the VOLTA Regional Hospital to a tertiary or teaching hospital with commensurate equipment. Today, patients needing dialysis do not have to travel to Accra. On the specific matter of UHAS project, which Mahama claimed were abandoned, actually was incubated in the Kufos nursing and doctors' flat. All the NDC could do was to build an administrative block at the permanent site. The failure of John Mahama to provide a counterpart funding for phase 1 is what accounts for the delay in completing some of its satellite campuses. UHAS today is a complete university with befitting facilities. A laboratory complex, a 3 lecture halls for School of Medicine, faculty office for School of Medicine, 1-story building for School of Pharmacy with offices, Sokode Hostel, that's 4 separate story buildings, Asogli Hostel, that's also another 4-story separate story building, construction of internal roads network work ongoing. Truth be told, the failure of the NDC under Mahama to provide a counterpart funding for phase 1 made accessing the Chinese funding for the phase 2 almost impossible. It took the personal interest and to set an escrow account into which was paid the counterpart funding as a condition precedent for accessing the $60 million for phase 2 expansion of UHAS. Under the MPP government, UHAS phase 2 comprises a central administration complex, the largest school of nursing and midwifery in West Africa, a fully equipped state-of-the-art simulation center have been completed and expected to increase the university students' capacity by at least 2,500. So when Mahama stood in Hohwe and talked about abandoning UHAS projects, he might certainly not be on top of his brief or was misinformed. In the area of road, the MPP has an enviable record. Today, Hohwe town roads that have never been tied since independence have asphalt overlay. The much talk about the Eastern Corridor Road today is a reality. In November 2019, the Vice President cast sod for the 56.4 kilometer road from Jasika to the Pepesu stretch of the road undertaken by Sino Hydro Corporation Limited at the cost of $45 million. The asphalted road was commissioned by the Vice President in October 2022. The Santo Kofi Jasika stretch has also been done. Currently, First Sky Construction Limited is working on the Peki Harvest stretch of the Eastern Corridor Road, and work is progressing steadily and almost near completion. Ladies and gentlemen, the last person to talk about the Eastern Corridor Road is the former President Mahama. Yes. For him to stand anywhere in the VOLTA region and talk about the Eastern Corridor Road would be disingenuous and laughable. Yes. Honestly, the late President Atamil started work on the Eastern Corridor Road from Asikuma Junction before his untimely death. Yes. Thereafter, Mahama moved equipment and resources to Fofosu Swala Road in his home region. And Mahama and the NDC think that the VOLTA region should continue singing their praises religiously or remain in Hallelujah chorus for the NDC forever. Never again. Let's explore the regional capital. The Sokode Hodwa Carriage Road has been completed. It was awarded by the NDC in the heat of the electioneering of 2016 in a hasty and irregular manner without a design and a secure source of funding. It has been done. Other roads in the regional capital have been tackled and new ones opening up. The whole Aflawu Highway was still in a deplorable state when Mahama and his NDC decided to sink billions of cedis into an unproductive airport project. The whole airport project, which was not even 50% completed, was hastily commissioned in the heat of the 2016 electioneering campaign. It took the MPP government to complete the project. The true story of Sokode Yuhas Titinu bypass is that the initial works, cutting and covert, was awarded to Usia Ghana Limited, owned by the then National Treasurer of the NDC in 2013. Typical of the company, the project was abandoned. Reference is made to his participation in the Adaklo Road. It is instructive to note that the consultant to the project, Ghana Highway Authority, reported that while the value of the work done was 3,566,743 Ghana cedis, 21 Ghana pesos, UCA was paid 9,255,245 Ghana cedis, 76 Ghana pesos by the NDC government under President Mahama. The second phase, which is the construction of the road proper, including U-House internal roads, was awarded to First Sky Construction Limited by the Nana Akufo-Addo-led MPP government. In the railway subsector, our region is also a proud and a major beneficiary of the revamped railway sector and the construction of the Tema and Pakadam railways. The original plan was to terminate at Akosombo, but it was redesigned to terminate at Impakadam Inland Port. And for the first time since the colonial era, VOLTA region is seeing railways. And since Nkrumah built the Adomi Bridge, the MPP government has also constructed a magnificent railway bridge at Akradia across the VOLTA River to Ugly near Dwapon, and a modern terminal, all in the North Town constituency. These are visible projects that are affecting lives and livelihood of thousands of our people. In the area of sports and youth development, a new sports complex and a youth center on the whole Adaklo Road has been constructed. And also an AstroTurf at Hokwe, a privately initiated by Honorable Peter Amawu in the heart of Hokwe, Zongo, where Mahama stood to run his mouth. At Hokwe, he referred to the sitting president and his vice in very derogatory terms. His lieutenants also made very treasonable statements, referring to him as their president and commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. They might be suffering from delusion. There is only one president and commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces in this republic, and he is Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Limited was revamped under Akufo, but collapsed under John Mahama. I'll take it again. Yes, it is abundantly clear that the VOLTA Tester Limited, which used to be Dwapon Testad, was revamped under Akufo, but collapsed under John Mahama-led NDC. Today, it has been recapitalized and is back on its feet, giving jobs and livelihood to thousands of people. So, it is not true that Mahama is not true. When Mahama stood in Dwapon and claimed that they revived the Dwapon Tester Limited, Alakpatoy Onye. Alakpatoy. A former president in search of achievements indeed. He claimed Ghanaians have short memories, and that is why he would make such false claims. In the southern sector of the region, the former president did not only speak like a serial caller and a propagandist, but he also peddled falsehood and misinformation. In the first place, the former president needs to be reminded that under the NDC an Exim Bank loan facility was sourced and squandered in respect of the famous Ketasi Defense Project. It took the previous NPP government to secure another loan facility to complete the first major phase of the project in record time and resettle the people in housing units with schools and other social amenities. 8 years of MAHAMA NDC rule saw nothing or any effort to confront the tidal waves devastation of other communities east of Keta. It took Nana Akufo-Addo-led NPP government to construct additional groin to forestall the tidal wave menace. On the Keta Port project, which MAHAMA described as 419, was initially affected by the coronavirus pandemic, which stalled most of the processes, particularly the foreign participation. Otherwise, a lot of progress would have been made. Historically, it takes decades from conception to execution. However, in the case of Keta, the processes have been fast-tracked. The NDC is just being mischievous, knowing the long process it entails. It has also been explained that the appointment of the CEO is to facilitate procurement and other processes leading to a contract and constructional works. The issuance of an executive instrument declaring the Keta area as port zone is laudable, and an invitation to the global community. Feasibility studies have been concluded, and advertisement for the expression of interest has been published, contrary to what MAHAMA said. The construction of the office complex is ongoing, so it is disingenuous and shameless for a former president to describe such efforts as
it has been recapitalized
and a container of feet,
giving jobs.
If he was interested,
to thousands,
he would have visited the site to apprise himself. What is the moral right of the NDC anyway, when they never even conceived the idea? Did MAHAMA and the NDC not see or hear the 85 million euro ongoing Keta water supply and rehabilitation project for Southern VOLTA, which commenced in April 2021 and progressing steadily and expected to be completed by the end of this year? The combined capacity of both the new plants and the existing one will serve the entire southern sector of the VOLTA region, including Soga-Kope, Akachi, Agbozume, Aplau, Anglogan, and the entire environs of Keta. This ongoing project is visible for all to see. Also ongoing is the phase 3 of the 5 district water supply scheme, an Austrian-funded project, where progress has also been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, is on course. Parliament approved £11.5 million for its implementation. The beneficiary districts include Adidome, Adaklo, Ho West, Kpetwe Yopi, and Akachi North. And MAHAMA could stand in Keta and say he's coming to provide water to our people is laughable. One wonders why MAHAMA and the NDC propagandists are not talking about this and praising the NPP government for it. MAHAMA couldn't mention a single project undertaken by the NDC during his tenure because there is none There is none.
Yes, absolutely.
Since when did Mahama and the NDC realize with potentials and energetic youth needing support? Was he ever a president of this country? Under the MPP government, the VOLTA region benefited from subsidized inputs and distribution of improved seedlings, cocoa, coffee, and coconut seedlings, support for cassava, cereals, and rice production, and other traditional crops, such as citrus and other fruit trees. The POM left bank irrigation project at Togoma in the North Town constituency is the third largest after Tolo and POM, benefiting more than 1,000 farmers engaged in the production of legumes, cereals, vegetables in commercial quantities. Youth in afforestation programs have also given jobs to our teeming youths who would otherwise have been unemployed in our region. Mahama stood in Anglogan and said he wants to build a new market. Meanwhile, a new market has been built by the MPP in Anglogan. He should have visited the whole market and see the phenomenal transformation that has taken place. He also was promising a World Bank and support for women. But this is the president who presided over massive fraudulent financial sector. Under his watch, money meant for women and victims of market fires were stolen by his appointees. With the above facts and the demonstration of projects that the MPP has undertaken in the VOLTA region as against the total neglect and abysmal performance of the NDC under Mahama, when he had the opportunity to rule this country, it should not be too difficult for Mahama and the NDC to understand why the people of the VOLTA region, particularly the youth, would want to identify with the MPP and why the fortunes of the NDC is dwindling. Times have changed, and the people are now wide awake and will demand accountability from politicians and political parties rather than blind faith and religious attachment to the NDC. The changing trends are neither due to propaganda nor financial inducement, Mr. Former President. In any case, the VOLTA region does not belong to Mahama and the NDC, and Mahama cannot pretend to love the VOLTA region than we the Votarians. The VOLTA region has never been part of his strategic considerations. Our region is only important as long as it serves as a reservoir of votes, nothing else. We are aware of Mahama's dislike and vindictive reprisal against the Votarian during his tenure, and still ongoing. Mahama is on record to have removed most Votarians from their various positions and recalled Votarian ambassadors from their missions. Even national party positions he pushed against Votarians. I wish to state also that we have had enough insults from the former president as a region. His assertion that Votarians are now voting for the MPP because of propaganda and financial inducement is insulting. The other day, when he visited Tegbi, he told our people that each time they finish voting, they go and eat akpele and sleep. This comment is in bad taste. The worst of his derogatory comment about the VOLTA region is when he described the MPP manifesto as worse as akpele and fetidechi, the staple food of the Votarians. Why?
Why?
We call on our chiefs and leaders of the NDC in the VOLTA region to demand an unqualified apology from the former president. I wish to conclude by challenging the former president and the NDC to pinpoint projects that they achieved in the VOLTA region and those that have been abandoned. We thank you once again for your presence and attention. Any question?
All right, so thank you very much. So now the floor is now open for questions from the media. Please would request that once you have the opportunity, you don't do any long preambles. Go straight to the point and ask your question. So we'll take the first question. You identify yourself in the media house. Any questions?
Everything is clear.
Yes, what's happening? That's Chronicle.
Everything is truth.
Please, the issue is that the facts have been presented to us as journalists. So these are issues that we are going to look at.
Right. So at this moment, we don't have any issue of asking questions. That is it. If it were to be any other program, we can ask questions, but these are facts and concerns presented to us.
Fact is fact.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Has it spoken for all journalists here?
Yes.
Yeah.
He has spoken your mind.
Yes.
All right.
That's
Fact is fact.
Okay. Abeno? In Ebe? Okay. This will summarize in your report. Okay.
Summary. Oh, yes.
We have another.
Yes. I should summarize it without any question. Oh. NDC MPs. Oh, Nidia Arundoya, Miapa Nya, Dukulekpie, Gakado Gawi. Enyaba Miapa Duklola, Hohoto, John DRAMANI MAHAMA. I got a Miapa Regina. You got a Regina, and Mia VOLTA Regina. Amugang Toma, Echa, Ejagon to Japan. You Udalakba, every man. Echa Etre Japan, Fama Glomba, Japan Testers are Yayewe, Olafon Wagba, Jikaba, and Numa Vivi Garden, Jika Ublo, Lafima, Bawunanako. And we are Japan Testers are Kufo. Yaba former president, ye revive Japan testasa, afi yaba president Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo yaga recapitalize. Yo la form weba ta mahama magaba vivi mma na madeke be you hami ple hayo na ayiji aglo nyawo afo uncho you has project U.S. project ma phase 1 benya be atamisewe phase which is secure $20 million. Phase 2 ye you never mate a counterpart funding na you delay phase 1 out Chinese government at global government set up an escrow account ikaba miaka counterpart funding arem afi or granted me quickly. Remember, President Ika former Kuneba is on the run. Ajaragba, Eji counterpart funding man at the escrow account mama. Jikaba we never attract $60 million. Ika make all phase 2 eka o complete over commission na you chop. Me to me put up. Yes. Now, I hokwe ave global you has near Emi school sao, emi all satellite campuses our mia we ma we. Ga kan lo ba ye for time a ye mate po counterpart funding now, mate raise a ga auto wo do kabaka alaba me set a record as street if you of a quiver beyond do me of voter is number take compare go. And we can better President former President Mahama, you have voter regional. But tell your project the car.
Yes.
By a wall, the voter regional. The cutting go but you. Avoid do me of voter regional. Even the teaching Trafalgar Hospital me upgraded to a teaching hospital. Yeah, the COVID time or equipped. Nyaba jiruru eco equipment o cover that new affair teaching hospital o upgrade. I got to equipment and now go le dukama only 3 teaching hospital okay o na mon pokuma or test for COVID or COVID test na mo and voter regional me benefit cho na mama ayi de anglogan ave global yebe ya atu ahie no ga kuma nya MPP tu ahie ye ho a changlogan shia moto le ole so eko le achiaro doma fima ya assembly ala fiama ga ka MPP va ava tu ahie de toko no lorry park tunu agba hokplamu na dua alaba MPP ike inye party ike evana Anglogan district ike mi have Anglogan district egba eta mahama nto a mi kpoba ala so ma detach ma do like of Ontarian so na ma alaba agblo opun cho catapult han be 490 ga ka nglo be catapult kata no nyi hoho ava produia efo omanyiva yi vice president gaka mabususu boy to habore kata even see defense o ha okogacho ezim banka oduga ezi ku forever aviba jigabubu avi make on see defense ai avi jigabubu they call to resettlement houses so the kata kaji afima you overpower moto afore ka ha chokpere afomonwu awon blaninto that mahama na onye ba ha botutu da kata rokene magbagba at least you over kata ateba richa abapo do e omo lafima agba kata GPHA o nitum office complex tum lafima which is about 6-story building as an administrative about administrative being habo to go bona ye da flache agblihan but feasibility kemie wo ha feasibility studies kemie numa kuku kemie wo ha enuma jojo na port aka mi o ba government eva aviva of feasibility studies avi declare area ma as a port zone to the world avi invest so o abladam but your pobele ke yo awonu ina yo gere wona ma ta ava kata godoa rukuba global mi of 490 enyanwu o mi le kata avo da flache gbogboma la padan beta budget mo approve budget areke na mi ga ka nglo beta GPHA o to dona galoro kyoshi sovereign guarantee ko corner back na way and where o te dona ga no on their balance sheet ha that administration block here to mo le gba on to we over gazam over $10 million is that mo le call administration block ma to me na manya o na bia yes maji maro kunu jine bare ada du ko atotoma ye onu at the helm of affairs temahabo ika terminatria ye ono bidding for the contractor ye to tell all the processes award contract man ye to apa value o ko awudo afmai ta mahama pona na ka chopo malafio ye over voter register rojabo gara ahoshima wopo store ganga o mi ture ahoshia ma le ahoshia la gba gaka Matthew, even Amoya, dualization of the Nuya, so-called Nuya, Yetona Quera, a Moma La Fima, Miotominya, 2016, ye, Ofudu, Eva, Gidi, last minute, Ikovaka sort, Ovaka sort more kata, Moko, Pakui, Hetman, the Kako Korafmo, Moko, a Gayoko Ogehan, Nana Adodan Akufuado, Eva Chiga, a Bubo, a structure, Ale Mo Yige, Afi, Odo Moyagba, Afi, O Asphalt Moyakla, who Podomimo, Naida, Hofegba, Hofwe for more, Ike, a Dramamo, Ikaba, Cho, Nkrumapangoli, Mo Kongore, a Dumama for more Jipo, Agba, a Dumama for more, Ole, Asphalt, a Momokataji, Another Kuda, Miapa, Eastern Corridor, Moyaji, Ogbomba, a town of Hajim, Eastern Corridor Road, Eastern Corridor Road. Ye, Mahama, va the president after his Atamis Akuya. Ye, Mahama, va of state chairman. Adida, Acho, Amabu Buko Daddy, Aniroho, Kokwaniroho, da Numaka, Patapata. Maji, but even your national election, Mama, Ajagbagba, a Kokanamo against all. But you catch a trouble, your Anita de Soso, Blunyamade, Messia, Aglonyama, Tade, Ma Mary, Dokova, a Syria Colane, about President and Yajamano, former President Ajabonye, and you are Muller, Regional Gadogba, Mako, Pipo, a Chika Dumule, Kata Water Project, Amakwea, Achima, a duo Kata Mayofia, so Gakofer. Adaklo, Anglogan, Keta Aflawu, Amateur Plafmokata, and Nako, Achimawa, Achimawa Keta intervirus, Avaba Anyako Chiklaf Mokata Ulema. Tama, man, Dokova, Vajumi, Ba, MPP Manifesto, Elmula, Ellen Yamanyama, Plene, Ka Amama, Nyaba Nuruya Akple, Akple Neduna. Inye miapa du vavien to ekeme du na ga Mahama na ba miapa MPP manifesta ala nyama na ba kariti ba NDC to le regional afia ajeba oji nyara agbo yes ajiba oji nyara agbo ala ba anu aka Mahama va wo le VOLTA regional anye mpenashi ovacha yes mafomu aba make produce akova yeno agofomu cho teacher trainee and nurse trainee allowance. Allowance or delay. Gakamaji magblene bata allowance or delay. Achimagba anyo uba obono tefria allowance o ma. Yes. Anyo u tefria allowance o ma. Yo tefria allowance o ma re fikea oba amonoko gala. Afi oko onu yawe. Tana Mahama Mbadona Songyo Agba Mibleneva Abakuto Mon Avanli Chikanamo Adopon yes Mahama Adopon yes Akaki Adopon Achiglinia Kwewaga Tade Nuyata Suyata Mahama get a rich in Afiako Boblomata Ta Yoba Voto Nibayuta Aga Yocho Mobleme Majima Glenem Mania Kako Moblame Imagine my grandmother got come over me. And we had your John Larry in any song here, Plamokata, or development projects or pom. Yes, only Shanu pom. Ta alle leap, amo benefit me. Alle national health insurance, amo benefit me. Alle allowance so teacher training allowance, amo benefit me. Alle free SHS, amo benefit me. The VOLTA declare Ghana bli wakata. Igloma mole. Amao school feeding, ale omo benefit me. Numao kata, bla drip evasu, kaka motobini. Ta eba o mo yo towe dongbe, ba yo ni ogagaka mi. Ta nena ko Mahama ne ko efa ni gbanle meko, akpogaba da flachelo ao amamali nyu. Yes. Awo for Ghana. Ta miachi ma miata gbarachi ye miagble but youth employment donam alaka gbagba. Yes, manya agba malaba chono. Agba malaba chono ri ono gbogbombe mi omiko miko NDC aba church dedene alaba mi omia no mako mi ala NDC akoba church nyana ta anyama kle poto ke oglo imami glory fugbama miapa education nyao free TVET mo kuba NDC mahama kle for review gbogbo yodo review no ba ko ami no do edenodo na fo ne magba over aomi oba no wa nya chikini kula janta kula mi ka kemi omi TVET blo mi la enye ba amona strong ale o wona ashimudo agban nyanya toy aka gba obo yo damu domo $1,000 o nka akpada mi yawe ba ogun
We are grateful to you for responding to our call and then picking the feed to the people of the VOLTA region and Ghana at large. Like Chairman said, these engagements will continue from time to time. Not only when the NDC come to speak, but we invite you from time to time for Chairman to explain the issues as they are regarding the MPP in the VOLTA region. So we are grateful to you. Chogoi, we are the new Patriotic Party. We are the new Patriotic